Hello everyone, welcome back. In this session, we are going to see how I can get the object from the container for this bank main. So for that, what we can do, we can come to this main method or lab2.java, and here now I'm going to get the object for the bin, a bank bin. So here you can see like this was the how I was getting the object for the customer from the container. So here I was calling the getBin method, and this getBin method available inside the container. The container name here is the application context. So to get the object for the bank also, what I can do, I will call the getBin method. So I'm writing bank B, and then I'm going to call the getBin method. So to call the getBin method, we can call on the container object. So I'm writing ctext.getBin, and now we have to pass the ID. So as I said in the last session, what ID I can pass here. So the ID here, if we'll come to this configuration file, see I'm not passing any name. So if I'm not passing any name, then ID will be same as the method name. So we have to pass this create bank. Let me go to this. Let me go to this lab2.java and pass the create bank as a ID. And you can see still it is going to give you the compile time error. And why? Because this getmin return the return type for this getmin method as a object, and somehow I want to store the object value inside the bank, and that is not possible. So if you want to resolve this compile time error, you have to do the typecasting. So I want to do the typecasting in the bank itself. I'm doing that. Now after this, I want to call the method which is available inside the bank, and the method name is bank info. Now I want to run this program and want to see like I'm getting the object for the bank or not. So let me run this first, and then I will explain you what Spring is doing internally. Again, I will explain you that. So now here you can see everything is printing. So till bank constructor, I already explained you. Now here, once I'm getting the object for the bin, okay, then I'm calling this bank info, and most of the message is getting printed from here. Now let me tell you what happens once I run this program. So once I'm running this program, somehow this container is getting loaded, or the container is getting start. Once the container will start, then they are going to read the bin definition. And this part I discussed in the last session itself. So let me come to this getBin method. What is happening in the getBin method? Once I'm trying to call the getBin method while passing some ID, then Spring container will say, hey, please hold on. Let me check any bin running in the container with ID create bin or not. If there will be any bin running in the container with ID create bin, then I will get the object for that bin. If there is no bin running in the container with name create bin, then you will get some exception saying that no such bin definition exception. But here there is some bin running in the container with a name or with ID create bin. So somehow you can see here we have the method name as a create bin, and if I have the method name as a create bin, then I can say that then the container can able to find some bin which is running in the container with name create bin or with ID create bin. Now since the bin is there, what they are going to return us, they are going to return the object for that. And since this ctext.getBin return type was the object, this getBin method return type is the object. What I did, I typecast that object value into the bank value, and then finally I was calling the bank info. Suppose you are going to pass some incorrect value from here. Suppose I'm going to pass bank here. Now there's no bin running in the container with ID bank, and in that case you will get the exception saying that no bin name found with name bank. No bin name bank available. So here you are getting the exception saying that no such bin definition exception. And why? Because there is no bin with name bank available inside the container. So here I hope this is clear how I'm getting the object from the container. One more point I want to discuss here. So suppose if we'll come to this Java configuration file, you can see here right now we have two bin definition. Suppose what will happen if I'll comment this one bin definition. Okay, suppose we don't have this bin definition. And somehow if you don't have this bin definition, and you have only the bin definition for this bank, and internally the bank is going to depend on the bank dependent on another bin, that is the customer bin, but we don't have the now bin definition for the customer bin. Now if you run this program again, you will get the compile time error as well. Sorry, not compile time, runtime error. So let me run this program. And let me show you. You will get the runtime error. Why you are getting the runtime error? You can see again you are getting the exception saying that no such bin definition exception, no qualifying bin of type customer available, expected at least one bin. Okay, they're expecting at least one bin, but they are not able to find any bin. And since our bank bin was dependent on the bin that was the customer bin, and internally the once the container was trying to register this bin, once the container is trying to register this bank as a bin class with container, then this will find here this bank is dependent on another bin and the bin name is customer. Let me see, is there any bin running in the container for the customer or not? Now there is no bin running in the container for the customer. And because of that reason, we are getting the exception saying that no such bin definition exception for the customer. So make sure if your class dependent on any of the other bin, you have the bin definition for all the bins or for that bin inside your configuration file. If you'll miss to write the bin definition for your dependent class or for your dependent bin, and then if you run your program, then you will get the runtime exception saying that no such bin definition exception. So now even this is clear. If you'll get this exception, what is the reason behind that? So if you are getting the exception saying that no qualifying bin of type like this kind of exception if you are getting, and the reason is no such bin definition exception, and this is the reason, then I hope now you are clear how we can resolve this kind of the exception. So this was all about like how we can inject the dependency based on the constructor injection. In the next session we'll see how we can inject the dependency based on the field injection. There I will show you how we can use the annotation, like we'll introduce some more new annotation. We'll use the at that component annotation. We'll use the at that auto add annotation as well. So now we'll see you in the next lecture or in the next video.